What is going on, guys? It is your boy Gary G Gaming here, and it has been a little while since I've put out a video where I've actually spoken or haven't uploaded it off my iPhone. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a weird month. I've been extremely busy. I've had to go to a wedding and, you know, 1,000 other things. I've had to work every day, par one, since like Christmas Eve. Got to work tonight too. So in Australia currently it's New Year's Eve, and then we'll likely have to work New Year's Day too, so yeah, not looking too good on the content scale. However, I just wanted to make a quick year recap video just to you know, put something out at least just before we go into the new year. And honestly, it's been such an incredible year for me and for War Thunder and its community. You see, we at the beginning of the year we had the weird tanks. We had that weird phase where the highest tier tanks were like MBT-70s, T-64s, things like that. We were edging on to getting MBTs. And then we just straight up get the third generation MBTs. We get M1 Abrams, T-64B, T-80, Challenger 1, Type 90. We get the Leopard 2K, the Leopard 2A4. Going to assume I missed one there. Yeah. You know, Frenchies and Italians included, things like that. So, you know, it's been incredible how far we've come in this game. As of late, Supersonic came out. So, for the longest time, the Sabre, the CL-13 and the MiG and all that, they were the dominating top-tier aircraft. And then all of a sudden, everything changes with this patch. Supersonic comes out. We've got air-to-air missiles and supersonic jets. They can be killed still, but you know, that finally we've broken the sound barrier. We've gone past that stage, and of course, air-to-air missiles. I don't think it's really a big surprise that we got air-to-air missiles, considering we've had ATGMs and all those other wonderful. Like, it's pretty obvious that that's what we were leading up to, honestly. So yeah, but to revisit all this, I just wanted to go back to, you know, the classics, the roots. That's why I'm driving the M103 right now, because once upon a time, this was the biggest dick in the American tech tree. So, you know, just a bit of a throwback, to be quite honest. And, you know, there's so many new vehicles and so many wonderful things in the game, but I just wanted to keep it fairly elementary and basic. I didn't want to go, you know, too far with this. You know, we'll talk about the Italians, because they're pretty interesting now. I thought their ground forces tree would just be full of shit, but once you get past rank 1 and 2, you get past all the actual Italian shit, then you get some pretty interesting things, like the M47 with a 105mm gun, the M60 Ariete variant, the OF40s in particular, the automatic, and I'm honestly more interested in the M113 carrying a tow missile, to be quite honest. That to me is the interesting thing. Basic as it is, that's how a lot of ATGM carriers started, just as basic infantry fighting vehicles, armoured personnel carriers with ATGMs mounted on the roof. So I can't wait to see that in action. But my main goal right now is to get my beloved. You see, for the longest time in War Thunder, I've always wanted the T-72. This is a tank that is, it's overlooked by a lot of people due to its performance in the Gulf War. Be it was a downgraded model, but in all fairness, it was still the base T-72 model. There are flaws with this tank, obviously. It is not a perfect vehicle, but you know, it's essentially the it was the wartime version of the T-64. So they made it to be a lot cheaper than not a lot, like 40% cheaper than the T-64. And it was designed to be the wartime vehicle. Of course, they saw it and went, well, why the hell don't we just produce it now? And then all the Warsaw Pact countries actually started producing it. So we've got Polish T-72s, I believe the Czechs built T-72s, a lot of different countries built T-72s, and it's quite an incredible tank that is actually still in use today. The Russian army today is actually building them and refurbishing them to a new standard called the T-72B3M, or BM3, I can't remember which one it exactly is. So this is still, it might not be a contemporary tank, as in, it might not be competitive to a modern MBT with modern anti-tank ammunition, but the thing is still quite potent even in its age. The same cannot be said for the T-64, which is mainly being retired in the Russian service, although the Ukrainians still use it among other tanks. So it's interesting to see, and my goal now, when I get my ZSU-57-2, I have a choice. Do I research the rest of Russian Soviet rank 5, which is a bit of fun, to be honest. I've never played the T-10M, and I'd really like to, despite the fact that it's not the top dog anymore. Hasn't been for a while. But no, I'd actually like to get the T-72 as my first rank 6. Not because of effectiveness. If I were to do that, I'd get the T-64 and then go straight down that highly advanced Soviet tank line. But no, for me, it's the T-72 because it's such an iconic and well-used, used tank, exactly. So, yeah, I can't wait to get that, and hopefully you'll see a video of that coming out soon, if I do get a chance to play this goddamn game, which I haven't been lately. Work has been busy. I have not really had the chance to actually sit down and play. It used to be that I could bust out 5 minutes before going to bed. Ha ha ha, I get the joke. But no, now I can't do that because I'm barely here at home to play this game in the first place. It's a bit difficult to actually balance all the things at once, and you kind of sometimes forget that, you were supposed to have, at least to me anyway, I was supposed to have a commitment to make goddamn videos. Once upon a time, I wanted to do it every day. Last time I did a video, I busted out 5 at once. They were dev blogs, sure, easy to make. I've got 3 ready to go right now. I've got 3 videos that just need commentary and a bit of editing, and it would be good. And I've failed to capitalize on that. I haven't had the time or the chance to come here and actually make the damn videos. So, it's a big shame, but at the same time, life. Everyone has one. And getting around to that, I mean, where the hell did my damn subscribers go? I remember I peaked at about 161 subscribers, and people have been unsubscribing. I get it. I understand. I haven't been uploading. You probably subscribed to me for one thing, and then, next thing you know, I'm not making that same content anymore. Well, too fucking bad. But seriously though, I'm wondering, what's up? Do I smell through the camera or something like that? That guy just in the chat just asked me if I'm from Vermont. No, I'm from Australia. It should be pretty obvious. Watch my channel, dude. No, it's just, I am so appreciative that I actually have an audience. People in tiny channels just barely exist. You're not really a channel until you get 1,000 or whatever. I'm happy just to be here. I'm happy just to be on the list, if that makes sense. Having at least one person who watches my content and takes something away from it, gets entertained or gets informed or whatever. I'm happy for that. And the fact that there are currently, I think there's 155 of you right now, give or take. One might go away, one might come back, I don't know. But no, I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm happy to have at least a modicum of an audience compared to, nothing. I started with 0, I, didn't have a goddamn thing. So, I'm always going to be appreciative of subscribers, and my subscriber milestones are going to be, something incredibly important to me, because, it's not really an ego thing. It's not really a thing where it's like, oh, look how many people have subscribed to me. To me, it's how many people can I, entertain, how many people can I retain as audience, and, keep it going. I'd love to build a little community around me. I've seen so many other YouTubers do it. I've seen YouTubers, every update and every patch, they just get a wave of new subscribers, and they build little shells, waves of community around themselves through, the different means, and it's just incredible to me to see that in action, So that is always what I've wanted to do. I've always wanted to be a voice in the community, and I've always wanted to be, to have one in the first place. So, just to reaffirm to anyone, I've never claimed to be the best player. I've never claimed to be a good player. Actually, no. I think if you go on Thunder Skill and you look at my realistic, it literally says like good player or something like that. Something stupid. Look, I make dumb decisions in this game all the time. I'm not meta. I don't play meta vehicles or do meta things. I'm not the best at top tier. I can approach it, but I'm not the greatest. I'm good at around 7-7 down. I'm actually really bad at low tier because I'm used to high tier. It's a weird thing, but it's true. So, I'm a bit like that. I used to play Air RB a lot. I went for about a month or two where I didn't play anything but Air RB, and I went from the P47 to the F80 and the F84 in about 2 months, which was fucking crazy. So, honestly, it's different, I'm not going to be the best player. I'm just going to be an average at best player, or maybe even a decent player, but I'm never going to be great. So, just bear that in mind. But what I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to entertain. I've always wanted to inform. And I wanted to combine those aspects, I wanted to make people laugh if I can, or at least just be engaging with people when I talk to them, make them feel like they're, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not like having a conversation, but it is. It's a weird sort of paradox, because you can't talk back to me unless, you're in the comments section. But what I'm going for here is, I've always tried to include the historical aspect, telling you the backstory of what I'm driving, flying, or shooting at, things like that, why it's important, how it actually performed in real life, because, tanks like the IS-3, for example, were absolute dog shit, yet they were pretty good in games like World of Tanks and War Thunder. So yeah, I've never been too personal or anything like that. So, I just wanted to make sure that people were happy with what I was doing. And if you're not happy with what I'm making, always let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see if I can rectify that. I'm not going to be like EA or Disney, where it's like, fucking watch the content, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off. I want to retain an audience at least. I'm happy to. You can't please everyone, obviously. There are decisions that have to be made, and when they're made, it's final. I'm not going to change it. At the same time, listen to feedback. Make sure people know that their opinions are valued, and if you stay true to your core values as well. I've always found that that's a big thing. If you stay true to your values as a YouTuber and as a person in general, then people are going to love you, because they know you're not going to sell them out with a different opinion. So your opinion's not for sale, things like that. They know that you'll stand up for them no matter what, because, at that point you can't be swayed against what is right and what is wrong. Of course, that is subjective in itself, but yeah. So I've been rambling on for a while, and I've just been, the match in the background is just me having fun. I haven't played War Thunder in ages, let alone my 7-7, so it was a bit of fun just going through and revisiting the whole 7-7 lineup. So I'm a bit tired and I've got to start work in about an hour. Yeah. So, yeah, just to recap the year, it's been incredible. It's been absolutely incredible. And I hope next year is just as incredible with the game and with all your lives too. New Year's resolutions to me are a bit overrated, but, I've even made some myself this year, because I've never made them before in my life, and I thought, you know what, maybe it's time to start. My New Year's resolution will be to have one, and, hopefully that carries out. Just set your goals and go for it, whether it be in-game or in real life, so yeah. Well, I gotta go now, so I hope you guys have enjoyed, but it's been your boy Gary G Gaming, and I hope to catch you guys next time. See ya.